MAFS Australia, Season 13, Episode 13.
That's the one we're using.
Yep.
It is the end.
It is the end.
It is the end.
To watch yourselves.
What is Julia wearing?
I said this earlier.
Yeah.
She's in a Julia special. That's not what Julia looks like. Julia looks great, but Julia just happens to be in whatever she's wearing today.
Okay, I've just got to ask the question. I know that I'm a straight white male and I'm middle-aged and I'm not allowed to say this, but Julia, what are you wearing?
It's a very odd dress.
It's always an odd dress. Now,
I hesi-
Julia looks great, always looks great, very polished, but my goodness, the clothing. It looks like one of those pink mylar balloons that a 6-year-old girl would get,
Yeah.
crossed with children's wallpaper. It's
I
just-
hesitate to call it a dress. It is a composition.
I want to say yes, but I don't want to bullshit either.
So you do want to be with Rachel or you don't?
I do want to be with Rachel.
I think you don't. I think you're sitting there trying to talk around the fact that you don't want to change your life. You want to keep everything the same, but in the same breath, you're trying to wiggle your way out of it. You're telling her all the things that will give her hope and then doing nothing about it. The question I want you to answer is, do you want to be with Rachel?
I'm scared to answer. I'm scared to answer this.
I wonder why, man.
Oh,
Shut up, Chris.
Be honest. I'm just going to
Leave, man.
put a bullet in it and just say no.
That's what you just asked
You
him
all
to do,
just
Rebecca.
made this happen. Stevo and Rachel. They clearly developed a relationship. They're slow burners. Stevo, whatever it is, he's a slow burner. He wasn't comfortable with being on the TV even though he thought he would be. Okay, it was very intrusive. Rachel is very intense. She's very insecure. She needs a lot of reassurance.
Remember who you're
Anyway.
angry at. You're angry at John.
Right? John,
Thank
with this, and we saw on the sofa, yeah, that basically, like, he's come out of the experiment. He has to go back to a business that has been running
Neglected.
on skeleton staff
It's been neglected.
for 3 months, potentially longer, because it's 3 months they're in the thing, right? We're going to say 4 months, right? And
And also 4 months during the season.
John, with this nonsense of seasonal work. Stevo and Rachel, they developed feelings for each other, right? She embraced his weird. That's what he wanted. He wanted someone who embraced his weird, yeah, who was happy to come out on the boat, and even if she only caught a few fish, didn't matter, right? Everything was peachy. It was all good. They tried to do it. He's flat chat, and then they get to the dinner party last night, and you could clearly see that they really look. If she lived in Sydney, this wouldn't be a problem. Okay, it just would not be a problem. They would work around it. Okay, however, having to plan to go to Melbourne every second weekend just isn't going to work for him unless John wants.
I'm going to ask Mum a question in a second after she finishes with her coronary.
Okay.
Okay, when she's got breath back.
So what just happened there
No, I'm not going to ask.
was shut your pie holes. Rachel, if you believe that this is your guy, pack up your and find a job in Sydney and move. Oh man.
Are you-
Seriously, the entitlement.
Okay, can I... Amanda, have you got that off your chest?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't, but okay.
Now, everybody went hard on Stevo because Stevo wasn't making the relationship his first priority, but he was. When you do seasonal work and you have your own business, making that business successful is making your marriage successful. The end. If your partner doesn't understand that, that's the wrong partner. And in this particular case, what needed to happen is Rachel needed to make the relationship a priority, and in doing so, lift her behind off a seat and go to Sydney. And that's how you do it, Rachel. If you're not prepared to do that, It's you, Rachel,
And-
not making the relationship a priority. But no one was hammering Rachel. Why? Because she's a whiny girl who they don't feel is strong enough to take the criticism. So they're going to have a go at the quiet guy. And that is abhorrent behaviour. John. I think John's opinion is a
Red flag.
red flag. I think any time Chris agrees with you, red flag. Anytime Gia stands up for someone, red flag. Anytime that Mel,
Anytime
red
that Mel.
flag. Okay, so
Rebecca.
oh,
Rebecca chimed in.
Rebecca, who couldn't last 3 weeks in the experiment, red flag.
It sucks. Like, I was in love with him, you know?
You're still in love with him?
No.
I can't, just not be, you know?
You can. You
Clearly.
out of everyone can.
It certainly sucks because when we first met, we were just locked in, and I've had such beautiful moments with Gia. I was definitely falling for her. I do appreciate so much fun we had together. Our families bonded. You have a beautiful family, your mother, your daughter, adore them all. I don't regret anything. I feel like we've brought out so much more
So bad for
of
the daughter.
ourselves. Even yourself, you said you've never met someone like me, and it's brought another side of you out.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
even
really
said
grateful for
You
that.
used to be a bad bitch and not let anyone in, but you've
Yeah.
allowed someone in, and I think you've
No,
learned
she
how to let your
didn't.
walls down.
Yeah, dude. Did we watch the same tape back?
All I can say is I wish nothing but the best for you, and I really hope you find true love,
I
because everyone
don't.
deserves it.
Yeah, you too.
Not everyone does.
No.
Gia,
Does
is there
Hitler
anything
deserve
you'd like
true
to
Just
love?
about
say
to
to
bring up
Scott,
Hitler.
you know, before you part ways?
Just that I'm really sorry.
I don't believe that.
Okay. I'm going to try and be as mature and sensible as I possibly can about Gia.
Okay. Go for it.
Gia needs to dig a hole halfway to China, where the
Wow.
devil lives,
Right.
and spend the rest of her time there with Satan. The only problem with that
To
would be
learn
that
morals.
Satan would be jealous of just how evil Gia is,
Mm.
and that might cause some friction in hell. Okay, I have one fear out of all of this MAFS, one overwhelming fear. That is a lot of MAFS Australia girls, especially the ones who are a bit wrong, end up in Britain.
True.
Yeah, we do not need Gia in Britain.
Please don't come here.
Don't come here.
You need the tan, Gia. Don't come here.
Yeah.
There's no tan here.
Yeah, no tan here.
No tan here.
Okay, so Gia, stay. No, don't even stay in Australia. We might want to go back at some point.
Just stay away.
Stay away.
Stay away.
Be not here. Be not where we are.
It's the most unofficial restraining order anyone's ever gotten. But
That's right.
Get
but
away.
yes, Britain needs a restraining order against Gia, just in case.
Australia
And
needs
not
one.
Gia. Cassandra. I'm gonna say it. Cassandra. That's who she is. And do you know who she actually reminds me of?
Who's Cassandra?
That's
Gia's.
Gia's real name is Cassandra.
Really?
Now, do you
Yeah.
remember Doctor Who, the episode with the trampoline lady?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Her name
yeah.
was Cassandra, the
It
last
is,
living
yeah.
human.
Yeah.
Had so much plastic surgery that she ended up just skin stretched on a frame.
Yeah.
I hate that episode.
That's,
that episode
that's
really
so hard
freaks
to
me
look
out.
at,
Yeah.
but no harder to look at than Cassandra Gia Fleur.
I am going to say this to Gia. I have more respect for coal miners, power station operators, paramedics, shipping container, and lose my temper.
You're going
I
to
am
lose.
Going to
I'm,
lose.
This
I'm
isn't
not
it yet.
happy, damn it. That is really enough said. Sorry, I have to get a drink of water. I'm done.
Okay, go.
I'm done with the rant.
You need to leave that on there.
You're
Okay, this is a
Scott.
long episode, all right?
Oh, this has been so long.
There's a lot of ranting.
Oh, this
Okay.
has been so long. But
Okay.
that's James has been wound up all season by Gia, and I think he's just let it all out. But he's just told us that if he's not careful, he'll lose his temper.
We're like,
Dude,
What
you
was
want
that then?
temper? There'd be no temper left.
I don't have much to say on Gia and Scott. I don't really like Gia.
I don't really
I
like
I
Scott.
don't really like Scott. I think that's the segment over.
Who are you to be making those comments, though?
Who are you?
I would never say that. But
Yes, you would.
who
You're
are
just as judgmental as me.
I'm sorry, no.
Yes, you are. But doesn't...
May I finish, Tyson? Can you listen?
We've spoken about this so many times.
It is interrupting.
We've spoken so
It
many
is
times.
interrupting
I
my
don't know what else to tell
communication to you.
guys. Like,
And this is the problem
we spoke
because
about
I am
this
a
last
woman.
time. I've explained it so many times.
Tyson, this is
Quiet.
unacceptable.
Not gonna help out, John. I'm just gonna sit here and watch this.
The reason why we keep pushing on you about this is because we're not understanding what you're trying to say. And what we're hearing is kind of taking our breath away in disbelief. And one of the things here that's noticeable is that when Mel and Alessandra were talking to you, you talked over them and continued to do that. But you're not talking over me.
Would you like him to
And that's a
start?
problem.
It felt like we're just going around in circles, John. That's all. But I'm sorry if I did talk over you.
If you did, you're sorry if you spoke over me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't mean to. I got a little bit heated up before. I apologise.
Okay, Tyson and, well, it doesn't really matter about Stephanie because she's kind of irrelevant in that conversation.
Respect women, Dad.
She was just sitting there. She didn't say anything. No one spoke to her. She was just there. First of all, I want to say that Tyson is obviously a horrible human being. Okay, I think there's no doubt about that. I don't think he's a good guy. I think he's quite terrible. But everybody sitting there, the entire room was judging him heavily for good reason. But they were throwing at him that he was judging Stephanie. I mean, there comes a point when you've got to say, he's without sin, cast the first stone. Everybody was throwing stones at Tyson. Okay? If you want to get the best out of people, you don't have a room of people ganging up on them.
True.
But if a room of people are going to gang up on anyone, Gia and Tyson.
Yeah.
Right?
That's my only hang up is that I find it difficult to find empathy. I suppose.
I don't have empathy for him.
Well,
I just
even
see what I see.
Yeah.
Right? I think he's, like I say, I think he's a terrible person. And I think that if he had an ounce of common sense, he would realise that he's probably not going to do much better than Stephanie in the whole scheme of things. But in his mind, he already did, because he already found himself a subservient girl, and the only problem with her was what'd she do? She spoke too much or something. The Brazilian chick.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
No, she didn't clean up. and
Oh, she wasn't
whatnot.
tidy enough.
They kept going back to on paper. We've talked about this before.
What sort of paper are they using?
Invisible
was
ink,
it
by the looks
like
of it.
triplicate paper that was like 700 years old and like
Got out the fancy
5,000
papyrus.
people had written on it? Because
I think the outcome for the paper, what made them look good on paper, is what will make ratings.
Gloss finish.
And because he certainly needs to improve on his language and on how he delivers what he delivers and the words he uses and the descriptors that he uses, because 15 years ago those descriptors they had no meaning at all like they do now.
And he was ex-military, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So
right?
he's not used to a world where you can answer back.
Yes.
Right, and
Yes.
I tried to find information on rank and whatnot, and it doesn't seem that he was particularly highly ranked. It seems, I don't know for sure, but it seems he was a grunt. So he was at the bottom end of the pecking order, and now that he's out in the real world and he's got a bit of money behind him, he thinks he's at the top of the pecking order. And in his mind, he can treat people as people in the top end of the military treat grunts, and that's what he was doing. Not nice, but the military isn't there to train people to be nice, right? That's not the point of the military.
It's the military. They don't train you in the military.
To be nice.
Yeah. To say, hey, let's all be friends.
Let's talk it through.
Let's make daisy chains together while we roast marshmallows. No, that's not how it is.
Yes, the military's there for when the talking doesn't work.
That's right.
So he's not trained to be the person who's good with his feelings and talking I feel sentences and all of that sort of stuff. And frankly, he's a bit of a meathead. Okay, he's a complete meathead. and she is far cleverer than him.
It's always Beck and Gia.
Yeah, what did I do to you? Like, what did I actually do to you? Mean girls, just mean girls.
I vow to you and promise to you that I will never, ever, ever, ever treat you or another woman without speaking to them about it again.
I mean, even in that, Beck, we're hearing a lot of excuses and qualifications.
Okay.
I know you won't accept my apology, and I totally get that. I feel like I've given so many to you.
I don't know if it's true, because I feel like you repeat the same behaviour. The mean message that you sent me the day we left the experiment.
Right. Obviously, we're leaving the experiment, so you have no way to judge if my behaviour is going to change. But all I can say is I'm really, truly sorry for anything I've ever said.
Getting onto the highlight reel of the most important relationship in MAFS history, which was Gia and Beck, a power couple we weren't expecting from Married at First Sight, as they didn't get married at first sight.
But I'm just going to do the John here. But they were so good on paper.
They were so good.
Beck and Gia were so good on paper, and I was sure.
John's getting a bit fruity. Anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised if Beck is literally unhinged. I'm not going to say any more than that because we're not here to diagnose people.
No. This chair does not have tall enough arms.
We do know that Gia is just evil.
Yeah.
I still don't think Beck is evil. I just think she's unhinged.
Beck just can't regulate her emotions.
And the drink does not help with that.
No.
Whatsoever.
The drink is terrible for her.
Just whatsoever. Gia is just...
evil.
Just look up the definition of mean girl.
Yep.
And whatever name she wants to use this time round, but that's who it is.
Like they said, well, Stella said, didn't she? You can't use the word sisterhood here.
No.
And she's absolutely right.
Yep.
And to all of those, I'm just going to bring it back to Alissa and everybody talking bad of Alissa. The amount she copped, the sheer volume, and it really showed in that little montage. Okay, little montage in that massive montage.
Yeah.
Right. I think it's probably the historically
longest montage we've had.
Yeah, in MAFS, the longest montage we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was a montage of pure evil, and most of it was against Alissa.
Yeah.
Right. I think just the fact that she didn't snap it there, with her snapping it at David and that sort of thing, I'm not giving her a pass for that. But if that's the worst she did throughout the series, not acceptable, but compared to everybody else, pretty good.
It's been a wolf in sheep's clothing, sitting in the background, and it's really hacking me off now. I have said in the past a couple of times, not a big fan of Rebecca. Not a big Rebecca fan. Beautiful language. No one cares, Rebecca. Shut up, Rebecca. Shut up. Shut up, Rebecca.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously.
Shut up, Rebecca. Shut up, Rebecca. And Steve.
And then to not
Shut up,
there is
Rebecca.
a lot of my phone. I looked at photos.
But I'm really hacked off at how little we're calling out the oldest, wisest, motherly figure for sitting there in the background and laughing along with these people.
She was getting into it. We saw it during the actual shows.
Yeah.
They didn't show much of it there, though. I don't think they showed any of it.
No, it's been painful watching the wise, motherly figure sit there and go, oh, no, Gia, that's not very nice, and oh, Juliette, that's not very good, we can't do that. As she's sitting there laughing along with them and just being evil. She's being evil, okay? And I've noticed a pattern that I don't tend to like the old people. It's not because they're old, I promise. I know I love old people. I have old people friends. I'm not an old person myself, but I have old people friends.
She attempted it the hen's night, and she inserted herself as the mother matriarch figure.
Yeah, an arbiter of justice, of everything right.
Yep.
Okay,
But
she's
then
a
she went
mother.
and hung out with the evils.
Yeah, she's a mother. She's the purest of them all.
Yep.
I think the problem Caitlin really has with this can be stated very simply. She is the one that is most definitely old enough to know better.
Yeah.
And yet she chooses to be mean.
I would have stumbled across those words eventually.
Yeah.
But no, you're totally right. Yeah.
I mean, I know he loves me already. I know he does.
Do you?
What
Yeah, I
planet
do.
are you on?
So do you see yourself falling in love with Beck?
These are... I don't want to tie myself into a loophole without my lawyer present.
Can you want to be intimate with someone who acts like that? It's repulsive.
I'll never fall in love with her on a month of Sundays. That.
I'm so lucky because I've got like the best husband ever.
I've had this problem. I keep having this problem. Keeps coming up. Okay. And they've done it again. What they're doing is they've done all the bad bit and they're going jingle jingle, jingle jingle, forget about that, we're sad for Beck. Jingle jingle, we're sad for Beck now, remember we're sad for Beck, we feel so bad. I don't feel bad for Beck, okay? I know that she's had trouble, okay? Everyone in this experiment has had trouble. And you know what? Most of the causes have been Beck.
Yep.
Okay, if it's the trolley problem. Do I feel bad for everybody else, or do I feel bad for Beck? And I cannot make that justification within myself to feel bad for Beck when everybody else on pretty much planet Earth has been hurt by Beck at some point. Okay? She's caused world hunger, she's caused drought, she's caused famine, she's caused disease, okay? And she's causing plague. That's the same thing, but I don't care, okay?
I'm gonna give
Beck's
you
fault.
I'm gonna give you plague in that she's made people feel sick, and I'm going to give you world hunger in that she probably put some people off their food. But the rest might be a bit over the top.
Maybe.
Caitlin, you've done well to pick Danny as the person you hate.
Thank you.
From what we've seen here. Wouldn't you say, Mum?
Mm.
Yep. Very proud. I mean, there were clues.
Yeah.
But you did well.
Caitlin, I totally agree with you.
What does the future look like without Beck?
The future without Beck would be bright.
Throughout this experiment, I would say almost from the beginning, there has been one kind of big dark cloud on top of your relationship that carried through for a number of weeks. And it has to do with comments that apparently were made about Danny being more attracted to Gia than he would be to you. How do you feel about that now? What do you believe now?
I believe Danny said to Gia, Beck is not my type, and in the real world, it would be more like you. I believe that happened. 100%.
Is at the end, it gets put on her. Was it Alessandra said it? How do you feel about that question of Danny and Gia and all of that, right? Now that we've shown you that Danny over here is Satan, and you know already that Gia is Satan's twin sister, Satanette, which one do you believe? Do you believe Satan or his twin sister?
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
Yeah.
They're like, you can't believe either of them.
No.
They're both evil.
Yeah.
Just get on with it. And I mean, the third part of that is Beck, who has been heavily influenced throughout this whole thing by the little devil on her shoulder. So she's the third devil in the thing. Who cares what the devil thinks of the devil and the devil's twin sister?
Yeah.
Who cares?
If you told me that they had broken physics and somehow made something that was wholly true and something wholly impossible the same thing, and that was cause of Gia and Danny, I would believe you 100%. I can see a world
They can exist.
that can exist
Yep.
where Danny said that and Gia was lying.
At the same time.
And it's not even shocking. It is
Yep.
simply just a truth.
He probably said it. Gia never heard it.
Yeah.
And Gia made it up.
Yeah.
That would be that situation.
That does the line. Yeah.
So yes, he said it and Gia made it up.
Yep.
And they both lied.
And it just makes sense.
Beck certainly's. I mean,
You would hope she'd learned some lessons.
Yeah.
Well, you know, she still can't find a job.
Hey guys, the job market's hard. It might not be Beck's fault.
Well, you know.
I'm going to predict that within 12 months, there'll be a Gia and Beck podcast.
Oh no,
Because
they will.
no one-
They will though, won't they?
They will, because no one will work with either of them ever again.
Guest starring Juliette and Brooke.
Yeah, I can see it happening.
No,
People
I can
want
though,
it. People
yeah.
want to watch a car crash.
Oh.
Okay.
Look,
Alrighty.
sorry.
Anyway, so the
No,
Beck and
you're
Danny
right.
thing, all very sad. We saw some extra bits there so they could really ram it home.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, that Danny wasn't into you, Beck. We're just trying to reinforce this before you leave here.
We'd just like to
and
break the
become
rest
a
of you.
stalker. Yeah, thinking that you're going to get back together. Danny was not into
That was
you.
why. That's the covering their legal basis.
I also think that the reason they did that is because Danny said at the dinner party, who was it to? I'm not going because if you're not there, they can't make you look worse.
Yeah.
And I think they did the... Really?
What is the worst clip
we can make you
have
look
of
worse.
Danny? Yeah.
And I know for a fact that Stan then went on last night to make me look even worse.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, because I've seen the clips.
Okay. And remember, we're in the UK, so we don't get.
We
that
can't
for
watch Stan.
We don't get
weeks.
Stan yet. Yeah.
Yet.
It's not over yet.
It's not over yet. It's
No.
not over yet, and our content's going to change a little bit. I think we'd already talked about this, but just so that you know, so hang in there.
Kind of has to because
Still-
MAFS is finished.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
still all family stuff, and I mean, we'll do MAFS UK, which is just a bit meh compared
If you
to here.
If you're here just for MAFS,
Yeah.
you'll be okay. And if you're not here just for MAFS, you'll be better.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out, Rachel.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Will you marry me?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, so beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you feel more settled here now with Philip than you ever have?
I can go anywhere. I can live with him in a tent. I'll be happy with him.
Love it.
So ending it with Stella and Philip because
Because
couldn't
they're trying
end it
to...
with anything else.
Well, ending it with Stella and Philip because they want us to come back next year.
Mm.
If they left it as it was,
No chance.
no one would come back next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And while they're ending it with Stella and Philip, we are as well.
We're ending it with Stella and Philip as well.
Thanks for
those
hanging
ones.
in there.
We are ending it with Stella and Philip as well.
It's been an absolutely diabolical season.
Of Married
just
at First Sight.
like you just go, what? Really?
It's been real.
Yeah.
It's been real. I mean, reality TV is not real. Thanks, Charlotte. Yeah, it's been as real as it gets, this one.
Yeah.
And it's been confronting.
Yeah.
And it's just been plain horrible. Yeah. And it's been hard work. It has literally been hard work for us to do this in so many ways.
Oh.
This recording now is going on 4 hours.
That's more than 4 hours.
It's just been so confronting.
This has
And
been...
we don't even have problems in our past like this.
No, I don't have a past in this area to even have problems with.
Okay.
This has become my problem of past. This is why I'm going to have commitment issues.
There are people out there who, I don't think anyone's been quite through this, but there are people that would be really badly, seriously triggered by this.
Thank you for watching. Thank you to all our subscribers and our new subscribers, because you don't want to be a stalker, you want to be a subscriber.
And it is still worth subscribing because we have more content coming out. Not necessarily all MAFS content, but we have more content coming out that's similar, appropriate, in the ballpark.
It's us talking about stuff, and you get all our different opinions.
It's just
and
like this, but without the MAFS bit.
It is.
Without
It's interesting.
Without the group of 10 psychotic females all at war.
Depends on what it is.
And Stella.
Yeah.
And Stella.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks for watching. See you next
Bye.
time.
Bye.
Bye.